Yeah, thank God. I mean, it's because I've been out there building that audience. I
Hmm.
mean, I sing in their shower.
Yeah.
So I'm there all the time, and performing is really, before an audience. Is really my thing.
Hmm.
So I think they sense that, and they come for that
Yeah.
wild, crazy stuff that we do.
And it's so unique. I mean, what you do is unlike anyone else. So I guess that would also uh, make it so that you wouldn't have to have a hit record, because if that is what you like, and a lot of people obviously like it, the only way you can get it
That's right.
is from Al Jarreau.
You got to come there and see it.
So this is your 12th album.
12. Yeah.
When you started in the business, did you have any idea that you'd have this kind of longevity?
Um, well, that's what I was hoping for. That was the dream. That's the
Hmm.
picture I put up there before my face every day and walk toward that picture frame.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd really hoped for this and worked at it and envisioned it. So,
Hmm.
although I should say it's a surprise, but
Yeah.
well, it's what I've been working for.
Do you ever worry about it not being what you want it to be, or the
Every
dream
day.
ending?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all have that kind of concern,
Hmm.
and it just behooves one to work a little harder.
Yeah, sure. That's what keeps you running, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. And the music, the
Right.
music, it keeps everything fresh and alive and young.
Yeah. Now, music has changed a lot. Your first album was We Got By, which is a
Mm.
classic.
Mm.
But things have changed so much. But with you being so unique and having your own little niche, do you have to change with the times? Do you have to adjust to things as they change?
Well, I'm affected by the times like everybody, and I hope in my music there is some sense of the times. I don't want
Hmm.
to keep sounding like 1975.
Hmm.
So I hope that there is that kind of change in the colors and the instruments,
Hmm.
and I'll use sparingly, some of the new tech and stuff like that. But the basic thing, is still pretty much the same.
Now, this new album is supposed to be quite different for you from things that we've heard from you in the past. Um, why
Well,
and how so?
well, in that I've probably leaned in the R&B direction harder than I really have ever. I mean,
Hmm.
it's really a solid R&B album that I wanted to do for this first step into the 90s. I mean, just because of what you said, I mean, things have changed so much for the urban listener
Hmm.
that I wanted to give him an alternative.
Hmm.
I mean, why are you rapping and scratching and sampling and techno and all of that stuff? Here, take this one with you too.
Right. And that's a sample of it. I mean, what we just heard, Blue
Yeah.
Angel, is,
Yeah.
I mean, it's Al Jarreau, obviously, but it's funky.
Yeah, it's funky.
Yeah, real funky.
In a today framework.
Right. Right. You worked with Narada Michael Walden.
I sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
We'd been talking about doing that for years.
Uh-huh.
For years. I mean, and I gave him the Grammy for producer of the year,
Mhm.
and we talked about it again. But we had begun talking about this ran into him in a hotel in Paris. I'm standing at the front desk, and in through the door breezes this narrative. He talks so fast. I saw him on the show here. And yeah, we were talking about we need to do some music together. Well, finally we have done that. It's a bunch of years later.
yeah. So what was it like to work with him in the studio?
Oh,
finally?
incredible. Incredible. I mean, he's a quick study, sensitive.
Mhm.
He's a musician himself, so
Mhm.
he knows, all aspects of it. And then he is so aware of what's happening today, and with that sensitivity and that kind of awareness and knowing his artist, he's able to find ways to bring things out of you that were little corners that you hadn't lit before. And he put spotlight on that stuff, and say, "Al, come on, Al, give it to me." Encouraging all kinds of stuff, and everything.
He says a real nice mood in his studio. I was out there once before in his studio, and I mean, he really takes time in trying to create that
Yeah.
mood with the incense going and the
Yeah,
lights
it's like
just so
being in a
right.
cathedral, you know?
Yeah, right. Is
Lights
that-
right and candles and fresh cut flowers, you
Right.
know?
that really makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it really makes you feel at home. You know,
Mhm.
I walked in the first day, and the music stand where I was going to put my lyrics and music and stuff had a drape over it. You know, the Pope would have been proud to speak for it. You
Yeah.
know?
He wrote most of the songs, or
Yeah, he
or
and
all
his
of the songs
gang.
on the album?
Yeah, he and his gang wrote all the stuff. You know, except for the last cut, Blue and Green, which is an
The
old standard.
right, Miles Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that song was very special to you, and you had started writing lyrics for it some years ago.
Oh, yeah, I had.
Just
yeah. In '64, I started writing.
In '64?
Yeah, I started writing a
You're
lyric
kidding.
for it in '64, and I was such a young, dumb lyricist at the time. It was probably best that I didn't finish a lyric, because I surely would have recorded, because I love the song, you know. But it would have been some goofy lyric, you know. but we did a new lyric, Frank Martin and I, the guy who arranged it and played piano,
Mhm.
and we did a new lyric for it, which is kind of a tribute to Miles and Bill Evans.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I'm really proud of that one. I feel like we really pulled a coup d'etat there, you know.
Were you a big Miles fan?
Very big Miles fan.
Yeah.
He was a big influence on me. One
Oh,
of
really?
the biggest influences on me. Yeah, I think Miles touched probably every musician, contemporary musician, you know,
Mhm.
was touched by Miles. And I mean, if you listen careful to me, you can hear Miles in how I sing, you know.
Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. This particular cut, is that your favorite cut by Miles of all times?
Well, it would rank right up there. You know,
Mhm.
Bitches Brew would be right up there too.
Yeah.
But this one ranks right up there.
But that was a huge album, wasn't it?
Yeah, immense. I mean, that album really turned a lot of music around. I mean, it taught people that you can do the thing of using the framework of contemporary music, contemporary sounding music of the time, as he did in Bitches Brew, and bring your thing to it and just open the minds of people, you know.
What did you feel upon hearing the news that Miles had died?
It broke me up. Yeah, I was up in the studio with Narda at that time, and probably influenced our decision to do that. I mean, some time before, Narda had asked me about, you know, what things I hadn't done as far as music and songs and all, just fantasy things, you know. And I had mentioned that, and I'd mentioned Blue and Green, and he went, "Oh, Blue and Green, anyway, I have to think about that, hell yeah. And so we recorded it and left to a later time the decision of whether or not to put it on the album, and it just became obvious that we had to do it.
Wow. So it's very special.
Very
It's your
special.
very special rendition
Very
of it.
special.
Yeah.
And you know, I hope that I don't offend too many purists by you know, doing a lyric for
Yeah.
such a classic piece, you know.
Do you worry about that? Do you think some of them might
No,
be
I
offended?
think about it. Yeah, I think about it. Yeah, you know, some purists are really pure about things as
Yeah.
they were and should be untouched, you know. But I did it with the greatest respect, you know.
Right.
And I think finally, though, it'll turn a lot of young listeners on to some things that Miles did, and they may go looking for that stuff and be reintroduced.
Yeah.
Be introduced the first time to Miles. Should be wonderful.
Are you planning on getting out on the road and doing some live performances soon?
Oh yeah, you know I will. Like I said, I'll be singing in your shower. You'll be sick of me.
But there's a tour in the plans right now?
Yeah, tours in the works right now. We'll probably not do the American tour until We start in December.
Uh-huh.
Around then, I want to give the record a little time to be out there and people to know that there's some new Jarreau stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, best of luck, Al.
Thank you, man.
Really,
It's so good to see you again.
I'm telling you, it's been a long time.
Catch this pass.
See, now we got to explain
yeah,
that.
we played some football.
Yeah, we played some football, and that had to be when We Got By came out,
you're
like
right.
back in '75.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, that story has grown so much. When I tell it now, Al threw this great pass to me on the sideline. It's the best catch I ever had. I mean, fully stretched out. You know, it was just beautiful. But when I tell a story now, of course, you were playing for the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, that's right.
You were starting quarterback.
That's right.
And I was the best receiver you ever had. It's growing a little bit, you know. Give it a, yeah, right. But really, it is a pleasure to see you.
Well, thank you. Same here, man.
And I wish you all the
Have
best.
me back again, okay?
You have an open invitation.
Right, wonderful.
Yeah, anytime you want to come.
Thank you.
Right. Al Jarreau, our guest today on Video Soul. I'm Donnie Simpson. Don't go away. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.